Complete chaos and terror erupted as the Israel-Palestine conflict reached new heights of what can only be described as a bloody war. But why did the conflict exist in the first place? Does it all have to do with religion? In this episode, World IQ will tell you everything you need to know about the conflict in under 5 minutes. Let's get it. First, we must look back to World War I, when the Ottoman Empire collapsed. Britain and France divided the region, and Palestine came into the hands of the British. At first, the British allowed Jewish immigration, but that soon became a problem as tensions between the Arabs and Jews grew. Violence became prominent on both sides. The British then limited Jewish immigration in the 1930s. Then the Holocaust happened in World War II, forcing many more Jews to flee. This fueled support and the need for establishing a Jewish state. In 1947, the United Nations devised a plan to divide Palestine into 2 separate states, Israel for Jews and Palestine for the Arabs. The Arabs surrounding the area didn't like this plan so much because they felt it was just another form of European colonialism stealing their land. Hence the Arab-Israeli War from 1948 to 1949. The Israelis won the war, but as a result, they pushed past the borders set by the UN and expelled vast numbers of Palestinians from their homes. Israel occupied the Palestinian territories, including all of Jerusalem and its holy sites. In 1978, Israel and Egypt signed the US-brokered Camp David Accords, which led to Israel giving back Sinai to Egypt as part of the peace treaty. It was so controversial at the time, but it marked the end of a wider Arab-Israeli conflict. Israel was still occupying the Palestinian territories of the West Bank and Gaza, fortifying the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Israelis started to move into these territories, whether Palestinians wanted them or not. The reasons ranged from economic, religious, and political. This also made peace even more difficult. Conflict ensued, leading to the First and Second Intifadas in the late 20th century. The conflict is not anymore grounded on religion. While religion remains a huge factor, domestic and international politics and nationalism fuel the fire that makes the area extremely unstable. On the first week of October 2023, Israeli troops were still trying to expel Palestinian militants from Israeli territory. A day after the surge of armed militants crossed Gaza as part of the broadest invasion of Israel in 50 years. Israel responded to the land, sea, and air assault launched by Palestinian militants on Saturday with heavy strikes on Gazan cities. The estimated death toll was more than 1,100 a day after the first siege. The numbers are likely to increase as the war continues. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned of a long and difficult war ahead. The Israeli settlement of occupied territories in the West Bank would not have been a violation of international human rights law if the settlement had been done through peaceful means. However, reality is too vivid in portraying that it was forcibly and violently done. It has become common knowledge that the Israeli occupation resulted in a number of human rights violations, such as the practice of apartheid and persecution. It has been recommended by the Human Rights Watch that the Israeli government should dismantle all forms of systemic repression of Palestinians. Israel is also legally obligated to be subjected to international law under the law of occupation. Since there is conclusive evidence that crimes against humanity have been committed, the international community should reevaluate its approach to the conflict and push for a more inclusive and conclusive solution. Israeli and Palestinian coexistence is possible under a one-state solution. However, as history repeatedly teaches us, coexistence is never a smooth approach. Religious zeal and propaganda combined with years of conflict led to several human rights violations. We hope the terror ends soon. Thanks for watching.